Hello and welcome to N.D.P News, your top news source for the latest global news. For those of you who are new to our channel, we invite you to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay informed of our upcoming content. In today's episode, we will discuss the recent announcement by the United States to allocate $130 million to the Philippines and provide you with comprehensive information regarding the purpose of the funding. Additionally, we will compare this decision to the previous aid given to Ukraine. We appreciate your presence, and without further ado, let's dive into the video. The United States has announced its intention to provide the Philippines with $135 million in new assistance, subject to congressional approval. This funding is meant to reinforce the United States' commitment to the Philippines and its role in a free and open Indo-Pacific region. While this may seem like a significant amount of money, it pales in comparison to the billions of dollars sent to Ukraine, which emphasizes where the United States' priorities lie. The decision to send $135 million to the Philippines is much similar to the World War II strategy that the United States and its allies had of focusing on Germany first, Japan later. This is essentially the same strategy that the United States is facing today, with Russia first and China later. The allocation of resources represents this dichotomy. The United States' decision to provide assistance to the Philippines is a reflection of the importance of the country in the Indo-Pacific region. The Philippines is a strategic location for the United States because of its proximity to China and its critical role in maintaining peace and stability in the region. The United States has long been a strong ally of the Philippines, and this new funding demonstrates that this relationship is still important to the United States. The $135 million in funding will be used to strengthen the Philippines' defense capabilities and to support economic development in the country. The United States will provide military equipment, training, and other support to the Philippines to help the country defend itself against threats from China and other countries in the region. The funding will also support economic development projects in the Philippines, such as infrastructure improvements and support for small and medium-sized enterprises. However, while this assistance is significant, it's still a small fraction of the aid provided to Ukraine. The United States has provided billions of dollars in assistance to Ukraine in recent years, including military equipment, training, and financial support. This disparity highlights the United States' priorities and the challenges it faces in balancing its commitments around the world. The United States' decision to prioritize Russia over China is not surprising, given the long-standing rivalry between the two countries. Russia's aggression in Ukraine, its interference in U.S. elections, and its support for authoritarian regimes around the world have put it at odds with the United States. By providing assistance to Ukraine, the United States is helping to counter Russian aggression and support a democratic ally. China, on the other hand, is a rising power that poses significant economic and military challenges to the United States. The United States has taken steps to counter China's rise, including increased military spending, economic sanctions, and diplomatic pressure. Nevertheless, the United States' relationship with China is complex, and the two countries are intertwined in many ways. While the United States will need to address China's challenges in the long term, its focus on Russia reflects the more immediate threat to U.S. interests. We'll greatly appreciate it if you give this video a thumbs up as we proceed. U.S. aid announces new funding to promote investment, innovation, and inclusive prosperity in the Philippines. This additional funding from the U.S. Agency for International Development, USAID, will promote investment, innovation, and inclusive prosperity. This funding will also be used to expand education opportunities for Filipinos in both countries, accelerate health security, clean energy transitions, environmental protection, disaster preparedness, and more. These efforts are aimed at advancing an inclusive and resilient Philippines, and USAID has detailed several initiatives that will be supported by this new assistance. One of the key initiatives that USAID will be supporting is the establishment of an Open RAN Interoperability Lab in Manila, in collaboration with the Asia Open RAN Academy. The aim of this initiative is to advance the Philippines' 5G rollout rollout, strengthen its innovation economy, and provide digital upskilling opportunities to Philippine workers. The lab will provide hands-on training to current and aspiring 5G professionals, and offer an opportunity for vendors and operators deploying Open RAN worldwide to teach and educate local engineers on designing, building, and operating these networks. The Asia Open RAN Academy is a public-private partnership that includes USAID, local Philippine universities, and companies such as Philippines Network Operators, Now Telecom, PLTD Smart Communications, and Globe Telecom, as well as international technology firms. This initiative is subject to congressional approval. Another important initiative that USAID will be supporting is the launch of a $30 million higher education partnership that will focus on strengthening the Philippine education system. This partnership, pending availability of funds, will work with Philippine universities to expand their innovation, workforce development, and entrepreneurship capabilities in areas such as curriculum development, faculty development, higher education policy and management, research, and community engagement. USAID will also be working with Congress to provide $5 million to support the government of the Philippines to scale up the country's infrastructure that is necessary to drive economic growth and improve connectivity. This assistance will include supporting project preparation and developing public-private partnership structures on critical public infrastructure projects, including railways, ports, and transport systems, with a greater focus on transparency, participation, and stakeholder engagement in the entire infrastructure project cycle. This builds on USAID's existing partnership with the government of the Philippines to strengthen government capacity to deliver high-quality public investment projects. Under this technical assistance, USG will work closely with the Philippine government in identifying these priority projects. USAID will invest an additional $5 million to the Philippines in order to support increased production of processed minerals and downstream mineral industries, such as electric vehicle component and ICT equipment production. This investment will also serve to improve governance standards in the mining industry, subject to approval by Congress. Moreover, USAID will be partnering with the Philippines Department of Energy to conduct the second round of clean energy auctions, which will bid out a combined 11.6 GW of solar, onshore wind, biomass, and waste-to-energy capacity to be installed from 2024 to 2026. This will represent nearly half of the country's current energy capacity and promote the use of clean energy sources. In addition to this, USAID will be mobilizing $100 million over the next 5 years to increase access to safe drinking water for 1.22 million Filipinos and provide sanitation services to 710,000 people. This will be done while strengthening water management institutions, increasing access to climate-resilient water supply, improving water resource management, and addressing water financing gaps. To further promote health security and combat tuberculosis, USAID will be awarding an additional $8 million to support global health security in the Philippines and invest in the country's laboratory capacity, disease surveillance, risk communication, and emergency preparedness. USAID will also be partnering with the Philippines Department of Health to address the double burden of non-communicable diseases and tuberculosis. Furthermore, USAID will expand support to the Philippines National Tuberculosis (TB) Reference Lab, introducing the use of targeted next-generation sequencing (TNGS) technology to provide more rapid and comprehensive identification of drug-resistant TB (DRTB) strains in the country, informing appropriate treatment regimens and contributing to drug-resistant surveillance. USAID will also be providing $5.3 million to implementing partners such as the UN World Food Program, Catholic Relief Services, and Action Against Hunger in order to enhance the capacity of the Philippines to prepare for and respond to disasters. This assistance will include targeted support to vulnerable coastal communities in eastern Visayas, Bicol, and Caraga regions, which are often the hardest hit by typhoons, in the form of establishing last-mile early warning systems, supporting household preparedness, and local disaster risk reduction management planning. All of these investments are part of the United States States' commitment to the U.S.-Philippines alliance since 1951 and are designed to drive U.S. investment tailored to the needs of local communities across the Philippines. This new funding from USA demonstrates the United States' commitment to advancing shared prosperity, security, and friendship among the peoples of the two countries and to meeting the emerging global challenges of the 21st century. But what is your opinion on the recent decision by the U.S. to provide $130 million in aid to the Philippines? Do you believe that this action could provoke a reaction from China? We value your feedback and would appreciate it if you could share your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you for choosing N.D.P News, and we look forward to seeing you in our upcoming episode.